This is a Nornvin, N-O-R-N-V-I-N. I love these names. These names are awesome. At least this one's pronounceable. Nornvin solar generator power station with some really cool features that I am liking so far. We're going to take a look at all those today, see what it has that other stations that I've reviewed on this channel don't have, and then we're going to test it for RFI against the IC705. So you're going to want to stay tuned and watch this. All right, once again, thank you to Nornvin for reaching out to me over email and sending me this unit. I received this, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 days ago, something like that. So we're out here in the not so hot Texas weather. It's hot, but it's not 105 yet. It's actually, there's a nice breeze going today. So I was like, let's go outside and record some videos, for crying out loud, because I don't get to do that much in July. So this is a really cool power station. It is 1408 watt hours, which 1408 divided by 12 will give you the amp hours. Do the math. I don't have a calculator in front of me right now, and I don't know. It's too hot out here for my brain to function. It has several really cool. This is a PB Papa Bravo -76 mic multi-function power station. Sometimes called a solar generator. Kind of think that's a dumb name because it's not generating solar power. But somebody told me one time, well, yeah, but a gas generator doesn't generate gasoline. I was like, well, yeah, that's true, but I think it's called a gas-powered generator. So perhaps this should be called a solar-powered generator. I don't know. What do you think? Put a comment below. All right, so we're going to walk around here. It doesn't have a power button that I can see. The way I got this screen to come on the first time was to turn this light on. It's got this light here that you can see. It's got fast flash, slow flash, low, medium, and high. I guess that's kind of neat. A lot of these stations have this, but once I touched that, the screen came on. Most of them have like a power button somewhere. I haven't seen that on this one yet, but apparently any of these buttons you touch is going to make it come on, which is cool. Okay, all right, that's fine. So here's something that the ham radio community will love. This is your AC input, which is up to 1500 watts, which is good. Input of 12 volts at 10 amps, which is the round modular plug, and look at that. Woohoo! It's got power poles on it, son. So those are some really universal mounts right there. That's a power pole for a solar charging up to 400 watts. So my big freaking 300 watt orange gigaparts panel that I use all the time on the truck to charge my station would fit in there. In fact, it's 100 watts too small, actually. That's pretty a universal mount. And then this is just a regular old computer cable that would go to a computer monitor or a desktop computer or something like that. So it's not none of that's proprietary. You can find these mounts everywhere. And I love the fact this is the first power station I've ever reviewed that has actual power poles on it. Very cool stuff. I like it. I was excited to see that. So we've got 12 volt output right here, 2 of those barrel connectors again that are pretty popular, and of course a cigarette lighter adapter, which everybody knows what that is. It's got 4 USB-A ports here. It doesn't have any USB-C ports. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, pardon me. It has 2 USB-C ports right there, and I will have to look up the PD rating on those. I don't know what that is. And then it's got 4 USB-A ports right here, but only one of them is blue. So that's the Quick Charge 3.0, and then these other 2 are probably like 2.2 or 2.4 amp USB-A chargers. Okay, that's fine. It's got AC output of 110 volts up to 1500 watts shared across the 3. And then it's got something that's really cool. It's got a jumper cable connection to jumpstart a car. So I don't know what kind of, that looks like an XT, maybe an XT90 connector. It looks like the next size up from an XT60 connector. It did not come with this cable. And it did not come with, the only cables it came with was the power cable right here, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and it came with the USB-C cable. That's all it came with. And if you look at the manual, that's all it says it comes with. So it came with the right amount of cables, but I was disappointed it didn't come with some sort of like 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter cable that a lot of them come with, and it didn't come with anything to go from power poles to your solar panel. Now, I don't need anything to go from power poles to my solar panel because I've already got power poles on my solar panel. So for me, that's not a big deal, but just FYI, just a heads up that it didn't come with that stuff. It didn't come with this jumper cable either, which, like I said, looks like an XT90 or XT whatever the next size up is. And then it's got this battery thing here, and I don't know what exactly that is because it looks like it's almost the capacity to charge a battery. So you can plug your external LiFePO4 battery in here and have this unit charge it directly. But it looks like kind of like the other end of that connector. So that connector goes to that connector. So perhaps they're both jumper cable. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to read in the manual and get that out a little bit later. But it has a built-in cover at the top here, which I've reviewed one other system like this that has a cover at the top. I really like it when there's a place to store these power cables. It comes with this nice thick AC charging cable like that. Again, that's standard computer monitor plug type thing. So it's got that built in. That's really good. It's got a carrying handle on both sides here. That's really good. And as far as, there's nothing on, everything's on the front, except for that light in the back, which you're not going to plug anything into the light. All of your plugs are on the front. So the thing I like about these that have the plugs on the front is if you're camping in a tent, if you're in an RV and you want to set this in a corner somewhere, all the plugs are going to be easily accessible. You're not going to have wires coming out the side or the back or something like that. Some of these power stations have plugs on all four sides and it makes it cumbersome to set in a corner somewhere, so they take up more room. This one, you don't have to worry about that because all the plugs are on one side. So let's check it out. I'm going to plug some stuff up and see what the waterfall in the 705 looks like. All right, I've got a couple of items plugged in here. My Yaesu FT5 with the 110 volt plug and my Waxon UV90 Mate with the USB-C chargeable battery, available at bettersaferadio.com, plugged into the Quick Charge 3.0 charger. The screen tends to go dark pretty quickly after you turn it on, and that's for a power saving issue. That's not a bad thing. So, okay, so there we go. So I've got both of those plugged in. I've got the USB plug turned on. You can see that pop up when I hit that button. And then when the AC is turned on, that little AC button pops up on the screen. So there we go right there. And we are getting some RFI. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here. Now everything's running right now. So the Yaesu's charging, you can kind of see a fluctuation right there. The Yaesu's charging and the Oshang is charging USB-C and regular inverter 110 volt. I'm going to turn off the inverter first because inverters are typically noisy. So you can see that kind of went away in the waterfall. And now I'm going to turn off the USB-C, which shouldn't be really that noisy, honestly. No difference. I just pressed the button on the USB-C and it's still here. I'm going to turn it back on right now. So no difference on the waterfall when the USB-C is lit, charging the radio here. You can see the red light on the bottom of the battery right there. So that's running and it's showing 10 watts on that readout right there. But when we turn the AC on, turn that on, and you can see sort of like, not really that bad, just kind of sort of wavy lines, and there it goes right there. Some really wavy lines in there that are not that bright, not that diligent. And again, this is sitting right next to the radio with this vertical antenna that picks up a lot of noise. Okay, so the antenna and the radio are right next to the power station. The obvious way to eliminate that is to simply move the power station away from the radio, or run your antenna, run not a vertical antenna, but run an end-fed half wave out that direction or something. So easily, I don't like the ones that splatter all over the band when they're sitting right next to it and you have to get really far away with them, or make sure that your radio is nowhere near this thing. I don't think a little bit of RFI from an inverter is a big deal. Again, you're gonna get, RFI exists. It's the world in which we live. So I've certainly tested power stations with much worse RFI than this one has, and I don't think that the little fluctuations in there are a huge issue for this power station. I also looked up the battery connector ports, and it says, and it's got like a 12 or 15 step thing for, it says to charge and or jump start. I think it's to charge more than anything. It says jumper cable right there, but you can find the instructions on that in the manual. It says to purchase the correct cable, but it doesn't really tell me what the correct cable is. So I don't know. We'll see. I might try that just for the heck of it. I don't know. I might try that and see. It says it's for a 12 volt system and not a 24 volt system, which, yeah, okay, that's understandable. So what do you think about the Nornvin? What do you think about this power station? I don't know if they're offering my viewers any coupons or not, but if they are, I will put those in the comments below, in the description below. I will put the links to all this stuff in the description below, so check those out and put a comment in the video. Let me know what you think.